Now, I'm not unfamiliar with the dark stuff. In fact, I oddly have a lot of dark stuff on my first attempt at doing animation. And that's Animayshin, the special month thingy name that I gave it, and not actually animation. I don't do animation. Yeah. This is such an oddball. When you first start up the animation, for instance, it has this glaring, piercing music. It is quite loud and in your face. It is also calming. It kinda puts the world at ease. Like if there was no music, it would feel odd and nothing else. With the music, you kind of feel the need to question that oddity, because the music quite honestly contradicts what you're seeing. Giant black and white swirls, a weird figure with a clicking and rotating face, houses and whatnot in shambles, yet this music just feels so chill. It also took me a while to realize this was a nuclear fallout. It makes sense now. It oddly has to do with being alone and how it sucks. When you are alone and hate the world and yourself, what does that feel like sometimes? The world looks like garbage and you do nothing but moan and lie down about it? Yeah. Going back to being literal, there also seems to be some setbacks when it comes to actually finding a person to share with the apocalypse with. At first it seems pretty nice to finally find someone to hang out with, but once they ask you to take off the mask, they see how you really are, and sadly, they aren't accepting of you. So you go back to your lonely state. Let me just say, I thought nothing of this animation first going in. I really thought it was just a weird animation to be weird, but once I saw the clues to a nuclear fallout, I knew exactly how to interpret it myself. But man, it being so weird really messes with how the message is gone across. It's first off black and white, which is already very cryptic. It took me a while to realize that's ash and not snow, for crying out loud. Colors in general help in deciphering themes and whatnot in animation. While the lack of color makes it easy to see what is important and what is not, with black being rarer than white and making black things easier to notice and more important, it makes it so that details that are less important but help clue into what's happening feel even more unimportant and hard to remember. Which is not to knock the animation, in fact, I like this little detail. Black and white fits the whole vibe and its art style in general. Also, let's mention the elephant in the room, the mask thing. I straight up hated this thing, only because it just didn't make sense. I wasn't scared of it or anything. No, please. It just feels like a character that does whatever, and oop, it's artsy. Once you look more into it though, you start to notice how human this thing actually is, and how non-violent it reacts, if only violent to itself. There's a lot of small details that are quite vague, but definitely still there to help in deciphering what is actually trying to be said. I need to talk about how weird this animation is, because it clouds so much about it. The thing is super weird. Being the star of the show gives the video such a vibe. The whole story in general is about a hunchman befriending a small child in a nuclear fallout, only for him to get disliked by his new friend after he takes off his mask and coughs a whole bunch of blood out in his monstrous mouth. A lot of people also think it could be him eating and killing the little girl, by the way. I mean, I see it, but I also see, coughing blood because he's sick from the nuclear fallout. I don't know. You can't deny it's weird either way. It's meant to get under your skin and scare the shit out of you at the same time. In turn, though, look deeper into it, and you find it's much more than the sum of its parts. I'm not sure if I'm actually just overanalyzing this animation, but to me, there are just way too many details to consider here to see it as just weird. Also, it's sad, yet not bad.